All right, all right, all right. Today is very warm out. But before I get into this video's topic, which you already know because you've clicked on it and you already know what I'm going to talk about, I must tell you that Pittsburgh is in for purportedly a brutal snowstorm starting sometime tomorrow. Hi. And consequently, if the weather is so bad that I can't walk around because of snow and ice, then I'm not going to be able to make a vlog. Also, Monday is Martin Luther King Day, so a lot of public places in the city are going to be closed. That's kind of hard for me to upload videos. So there might be a couple of intervals here where I'm not going to be able to upload videos. I'm certainly making them, but you might have to wait a day or so before they become uploaded on my channel. So just keep that in mind. I'm not going to walk around in snow and ice when I'm finally getting over my cough and my cold. Last night I thought I was going to die. It was so bad. My face felt like it was in an oven. My heart rate was just out of control. And then I woke up this morning and I was fine. It was great. And I was very relieved to finally start feeling better. I still feel congested and everything, and I have a stuffy head, and my palates and my ears and my hearing are kind of clogged. I can't quite hear things yet. It goes in and out. It's weird. But anyway, so this is the video you guys have been waiting for. You want to know what it's like to live in a homeless shelter. Well, I don't know. I don't know what it's like to live in a homeless shelter. I sure as hell wouldn't want to live in one, let me tell you that. I'd rather sleep out right here where I'm at, in this nice little cozy park. I know what it's like to sleep in one. Here's basically how it works, before I really get into the details. The very first time, now I don't know about bigger cities like, you know, New York, Los Angeles, San Diego, Chicago, I don't know what kind of protocols they have for their shelters, but here in Pittsburgh, you have to register before you can be assigned a bed. I'll get to that in a moment. Anyway, so you go in, whatever shelter you pick. I'm not going to name any names in this video of the shelters and what names they are. I'm just going to talk about one in particular, but I'm not going to mention its name. You go in, you give them your name, and they also want your social security number. They didn't ask for any ID. And I think the reason why they want your social security number is because they're going to find out if you are who you say you are. You know, everybody has a social security number, so you can't lie about that. That and among other reasons. But so you go through the registration process, which is only really about 10 minutes. Then they give you the options of, you know, signing up for welfare, public assistance, job placement assistance, and all that kind of stuff. That's down the road, though. That takes a couple of weeks, because you have to get into their system and you need to be processed, and you have to go to the welfare office for all that. Food stamps, medical care, all that kind of stuff. The idea is to get you out of the shelter. It's not to keep you there. So after that, you are taken upstairs. The first thing that happens is, when you go upstairs to sleep with about 100 other men, the first thing that hits you is the stench. Urine, alcohol, vomit, and shit. You smell it all in one. It's literally a concentration condition. I try to envision it as you're going to jail for a night. The only difference is you haven't been arrested. You're going there on your own volition. It's literally the same thing. And let me break it down again. I cannot speak for other shelters, especially across this whole great country of ours, but this particular one in Pittsburgh, you do not sleep in a bed. You sleep on a mat. You sleep on a mat on the floor next to a person who probably hasn't had a bath in at least a couple of weeks, maybe a month. The same with the person on the other side of you. The stench is just absolutely horrifying. If you've read about what it was like in Auschwitz, how people used to complain about the stench, it's probably not on that equivalent, because those people were suffering from dysentery and whatnot, but It's close. I can guarantee you, for those of you who have never slept in a homeless shelter, all you great keyboard warriors, it's quite an experience. And it takes some time getting adjusted to it. As I said, a lot of these homeless people, I'd say 95% of them that are there have mental issues. Or drug addiction, alcohol addiction, not able to hold a job. So the shelter becomes a way of life for them. There are people there who are going to stay there for the rest of their lives. I thought about it this morning, and I was looking around, and I would say that a majority, well, I don't know how to put a prediction on this or even a percentage, but a lot of the people there are going to be dead probably in a couple of years. It's just because they just, I can see them disintegrating now with absolutely no hope of improvement. The homeless situation is very bleak. I mean, it's not, you know, and through these videos, I have not tried to sugarcoat anything. Now, that's not to say that I haven't seen things, you know, that are positive, because I have. I have seen a lot that is positive. I have seen miracles, actually, and I'll get into those in other videos. But when you enter a shelter for the first time, you're just appalled by the smell. I mean, it's just, ladies and gentlemen, I'm telling you, it's more than just a, you know, a powerful, disgusting odor of a public restroom that you've been in. It's worse than that. And we're talking wintertime now. You know, Pittsburgh has experienced some brutal cold, and these places smell like absolute garbage. I was horrified the first time I walked in, and I tried to lay down. I couldn't sleep my first night. You can't. There's no way you can, because you can't adjust to the smell. And another problem that persists in the shelter is the fact that, as I said already in quite a few previous videos, the mental illness that is prevalent, you have people talking to themselves all night. They never go to sleep. I don't know how they sleep during the day. I don't know where they sleep during the day, because a lot of the places in Pittsburgh that you can hang out during the day, you can't sleep. They won't let you sleep. They'll kick you out. And these people talk to themselves all night. I mean, if you ever want to hear the most meaningless dialogue, and I'm not picking on people, don't misunderstand me, but if you ever want to hear the most meaningless dialogue that a human being can utter, go into a homeless shelter. In fact, all of you should go for one night in a homeless shelter, and I guarantee you, no matter what kind of depression you're suffering from or whatever is bad going on in your life, you're going to appreciate what you have real quick. Here's something that really horrified me, though. When I first got in and I registered, my backpack right here, okay? It wasn't even checked. I could have had a fucking semi-automatic in there. I could have shot all kind of homeless people, and nobody checked. Nobody checked my bag. I am wondering how many, well, I can tell you this before I get into that. There are homeless people who are armed. That's why I told you in a previous video, please be careful how you approach a homeless person, because homeless people take a lot of physical and verbal abuse, and they do protect themselves. And a lot of them, believe it or not, a lot of them carry permits to carry guns. They're legally authorized to carry a gun. Yes, they are. Not all of them, some of them. I'm not going to give you names, but that's why I tell you, be careful when you approach a homeless person, because they're used to getting robbed and beaten. It's a way of life. I was just wondering how many homeless people in these shelters are armed. Because now, you say, well, Mark, what about, don't they have security? Yeah, they have a cop every night. He's got a fucking taser on him. A taser. I'm thinking to myself, that's okay. At least it's something, but what if this guy has a gun? I think I've seen one cop that had a gun, but most of the time I see tasers. So, you know, before people start, you know, yelling at me, there might be cops that have guns on them, I don't know. But most of the time I see tasers. But do I feel safe in these shelters? No. You got to watch your back. You see this here? Okay?